Hello everyone, and in today's video we're going to be going through Goa's new digital nomad rules and what it could mean for you if you're wanting to move to India. So basically they've developed a new set of visa rules, or they're in the process of developing a new set of visa rules specifically for digital nomads. So this could potentially mean that Goa could be your new home. Now, before we get started on this video and before I take you through the different topics that we're going to be going through, if you could leave a like on this video, share it with a friend and subscribe to the channel, that would be fantastic. And also leave your opinions down in the comment section below. I'm going to reply to every single one of you. So guys, this is the Google Earth, and I'll just give you a bit more of an introduction into Goa. So you can see here on my computer we have a little bit of further information here on Goa, so we're just going to go ahead and click more info. So Goa is a state in Western India with the coastlines along the Arabian Sea. When you are there's churches, tropical spice plantations as it says here, but then it's beaches, which is what the area is mainly known for. So you can see here Baga, Palalem are the most popular stretches. And those laid back fishing villages such as Agonda, which is in the south. The capital is Pananji, which is up in the north, and that tends to be the most popular area, is up north, and the regions up there, those are the most popular areas. The most popular beaches as well tend to be up here. Now, Goa is obviously known for the amazing beaches, but the main thing is the all-round warm weather that it creates on the peninsula. However, even though the beaches are fantastic and there's such a warm climate, India isn't that popular with tourists, and Goa is definitely somewhere that's suffered because of that. Tourism is not a big thing there. And I'll tell you a bit later on about how actually many tourists are getting per month and per year coming in, but it's not a lot. So Goa has really suffered, and in a plan to increase tourism, Goa's minister has actually proposed a new visa. So as you can see here on the screen, according to the latest reports, Goa may soon become a digital nomad destination. Now, this is huge news for Goa and India. And as I mentioned before, the government is looking at ways to boost local economy and is in talks with the central government to launch the programme. Main thing here is to bring in more tourists, right? But also to bring in more income for the country as well, because I believe that with this digital nomad visa you will then end up becoming a tax resident, and that's why. So as I mentioned before, the government is looking at starting the digital nomad visa for travellers. The government has begun conversations with the Prime Minister's office, so people can then go ahead and work there remotely. It is currently a popular tourist destination in India, and the visa will only add obviously to this for people to go and stay for a longer time. At the moment, the current visa situation is you can stay there for 90 days at a time, maximum, and then you have to leave the country, and you can purchase different ones. So you can purchase a 30-day one, which obviously you won't get to the 90 days, which is about $10. You can purchase a 1-year one, and then you can purchase a 5-year one, which I believe is around $75 at the moment, which is really, really good compared to some of the other like e-visitor visas that I know of. I mean, I know Australia is $150 for a year. I know here in Bali it's around about £25, I think, for 1 month. So you can kind of get the situation that Goa is actually a really, really cost-effective a visa opportunity. So if these visas come through, India will actually be the 46th country that offer these visas. So actually the government is now evaluating the remote working visa structures of the other countries that offer them to individuals who have flexible jobs. So they're taking and learning things from countries like Indonesia, countries like Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam that already have successful digital nomad setups employed already, and they're learning from that, which I think is a really, really good thing and something that will definitely make them successful. Sign of the times to come is 3 massive co-working spaces that are soon to be set up, obviously, on the Ashfair, Morjim and Benolim beaches for the remote workers who do wish to settle in the state. I think that's a massive kind of bonus for Goa, and definitely a sign of the times to come. So as I mentioned before about the prices are now obviously on the screen, as you can see on this website. And Goa has actually established a homestay policy as well, aimed at helping residents earn extra money whilst giving tourists a glimpse of the local culture, which is another sign that this visa policy is going to be put into place. Now, this was actually from December, like this was when it was first announced, so it'll be interesting to kind of see what they do in the coming months and whether it can be up by next year, which would be a great step for these guys. So what we're going to do now is actually look into Nomad List, which is a very, very popular digital nomad site, and which tells you kind of everything that you need to know about a country. So as you can see here, the total score is 3.05 out of 5, which ranks it 208th in the world. Now this is not something that I've potentially I've really looked at when I've been picking out my destinations. However, it's obviously something to take into account. These guys really do know what they're talking about, and they do update it regularly. So the quality of life score, okay, family score, okay, community score, okay as well. But the cost is obviously one of the main benefits of this. Very, very affordable. I believe it's 360% cheaper than London. So if you live in the capital city of Goa, which is Panjim, I believe, it's 360% less, 360% cheaper than living in London, which is obviously a mile apart, because a London, the average, you're looking at about $4,500 to live there per month. So good internet. I've heard things about the internet not being so good, but with co-working spaces and things like that, you would have to expect that this internet would get better. Co-working spaces usually have internet that's more than good enough to upload a long YouTube video like this one. With the amount of different things around it, so you've got Mumbai, Delhi, all these massive cities around it, you've got the Taj Mahal in India, so many places where the travel there as well does not cost a lot. The fun factor, I guess you could say, of the city is great. There's plenty of things to do around it, and you have the beach so accessible to you as well. So the temperature, I mentioned before about it being warm all year round. Nomad List have recognised it as too hot. It says it feels like 37 degrees. So probably the thing to do is go in the winter, in the colder season, but obviously I would stay away from monsoon season. From other people that I've heard from, monsoon season, restaurants close and things like that, and not as many things are open. But I've heard that it's not actually that bad in monsoon season. Like, you can still do a lot. The beaches are really like empty, so if you want to avoid tourists and things like that, then that would be perfect. Safety, good, and lack of crime, good, which is obviously two main important things. You don't want to be getting robbed on a daily basis. I think Goa in general is more of like a party city, and that's how I would describe it. I don't think it's so good for entrepreneurship and things like that, but from what I've seen so far and from what I've read online, nightlife seems to be the main reason to go there. I think it is like a hub for Indians to go and party. So yeah, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from it so far. So here is a quick digital nomad guide. Obviously India in Asia. The average trip length of people that have gone there from the Nomad List community has only lasted 12 days. But again, with new infrastructure and things like that appearing, I would expect the average trip length to continue to increase and get to places like Bali where people are staying multiple years. So the population of the people here in Goa is only 1,800,000 people, which means it's very sparsely populated. Travel wise and things like that, travel is very cheap, but again, the infrastructures aren't there at the moment, and I think that's something that the government are going to have to work on before they start inviting people in. Because it's all good having a visa to go there, but without the infrastructure, people aren't going to be wanting to go in. Health and medical help there aren't the best as well, so that's something that these guys are going to have to sort out. To be honest, the return rate here is not bad at all. 9% of visitors return, which is decent. It's not the best and not the worst I've ever seen. It probably shows that it is a decent place. Like, it's not gonna blow your mind, but it's not also gonna be like, whoa, and I will never ever go there, never ever go there again. So here are the cost of livings for a digital nomad. So you're looking at around about, like I said, 1,400 per month, which is really, really fantastic. So I did a bit of research into the Airbnbs and I set my filters like this. So I did homes, I did the average price range, maximum to be £16. So if you're looking to be on a budget, then this is going to be perfect for you. And this is going to be a 1-bedroom home, so you're going to have the whole kind of thing to yourself. And there was 405 homes that showed up. So that means a lot of choice for you guys to kind of pick there. So as you can see here, this seems to be the most popular area. And we've got pools, we've got balconies. There's one here that looks fantastic. So you can see here there's a range of different apartments, and even if you have more to spend on a hotel, like realistically the majority of the traffic, maximum you can really spend here is £42 per night, which is obviously not bad at all. For this, you're getting a full apartment with a pool by yourself, and that's £31 a night. So again, you're not really complaining. With monthly stays as well, I know that a lot of Airbnb owners do cheaper. So if you go to any month and then click 1 month there, search it up. Let's see, filters, sorry, price range for the month. Let's look at like £400, let's say. You've got 52 homes just in this map area, a lot of them underneath at about 285, 250, 250 pounds. So you can see there that there's a lot of opportunity and a very, very cheap cost of living there. So the final thing we are gonna do is look through the trends here, and as you can see, it's an upward trend for Goa, which is really, really positive. There was a little dip here, and there wasn't that much of a dip during COVID because it was actually one of the only Indian cities that wasn't completely on lockdown. And you can see here just the onward and upwards. So in the next 12 months, it is going to tend to go up. There was a big spike last year in December, and here we are now in June here. So the arrivals do tend to go up, but there isn't that many arrivals there. We have about 1,000 arrivals per month from digital nomads and travelers, which is not that big. So I think it is one for the future. So here are my opinions on Goa. Do I think it is the next Bali? No, I don't. But I do think it's definitely going to become more popular with people inside the digital nomad community, simply because of the price. If you can't afford somewhere like Bali, which is becoming increasingly more expensive, or if you can't afford somewhere like Lisbon, Portugal, different places like that, Goa is definitely an option. And also where it is situated is completely directly in the middle, so you can have access to America, UK, you also have access to Australia if you need it as well. So you can have clients in different places and still be able to access them on your time zone. I know in Asia, like Southeast Asia and Australia, it can be difficult to access people in the UK and in America, just simply because of the time zone differences. I definitely think that will attract some people to it, and logically that kind of makes sense to go there. And also the beautiful beaches that they have there, give it a comparison to Thailand, Bali, Indonesia, all these kind of tropical islands and these tropical places. Goa is on that same level as them. Another positive here is the high amount of English speakers. English is actually the second spoken language in India, which means when you're communicating with people in cafes, restaurants as well, people are more likely to understand you. I know that in certain places I've been in the past, it's definitely been hard, and especially in Morocco, a lot of Google Translate was used, which is not ideal, especially if you're going to be there a long time. I have heard bad reviews about the safety and things like that, but I'm sure that this is going to get better with the amount of influx of people that are going to come in. The main things that I've heard safety-wise are police constantly stopping tourists, not begging them for money, but trying to swindle them out of money because of no helmets or tiny little things that you do wrong. the swindling people out of money instead of actually just going through the correct procedures. But again, that can be prevented by following the law specifically and really directly. As I've mentioned in the Nomad list overview and in my previous statements, it is very clear that there needs to be some upgrades made. And as I mentioned before, it's not going to be the next Bali very soon. It's going to take 5-10 years. But I do think that integrating new infrastructure and investing in new places like the 3 co-working spaces that they're opening is going to do a great job for these guys. And also, I think that this new digital nomad visa that they are starting to implement will drag people there simply because of the cost of living and how easy it is to live there on a cheaper budget. So that is going to be everything for today, guys. If you have enjoyed, please let me know down in the comments section below. I know it might seem a little bit jittery and things like that, but I am still new to this kind of process, and I'm trying as best as I can to create these kind of videos and try and help you guys as much as possible. If you have liked it, do leave a like, do leave a comment, let me know, have you been to Goa, what did you think of it? Let me know down in the comments section below. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you on Thursday.